Greetings fellow builders and welcome to Settlement Survival, a survival city builder that finally launches into full release version 1.0 on October 24 on Steam. Become a mayor of a settlement far out in the wilderness, survive the seasons, grow and prosper, fight crime, trade goods and explore a massive world full of wonder and mystery. This is a sponsored video, but that doesn't mean that my enthusiasm is faked. The game is really good and massive at this point, and if you're interested in city builders, you should definitely check it out. Find the link in the video description and comment section. But without further ado, let's get right into a new settlement, shall we? Go, 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 go. The first thing we need to decide, of course, are the settings for a new game. We have several types available. We have a story mode available, so you can follow some quests along. We have a sandbox mode and a standard mode. For this, we're going with the standard mode, so probably also a difficult one. And we can also choose difficulty settings here. We also have lots of parameters that we can choose, from random events to starting seeds to starting population to starting tech points. You can just basically set everything in this game. Also, the map modes down here with a seed, of course, and we can also decide the size of the map, for example, how many wild animals there are, how many lakes, how big the lakes are, mountains or density, stuff like that. So you can really choose a lot of things before you start this game. For this, we are just going for a standard mode. Of course, the town is going to be called Sleepy Hollow, as our tradition demands. Let's get cracking. Now, once out in the game, out in the wilderness, we are being thrown into a huge map, and what we can see right now is we do have some lake here, some lakes, one over there actually, and then also some rivers coming together here to a bigger river then as well. And I love river locations, so we're going to start my first settlement here with close to a river location. The cool thing about this is also we get some fish deposits over there. And yeah, well, basically every time you start the game new, you get onto a completely new map, right? So you always have to just orientate yourself first, where you have things to look out for. There's fertile soil over there. If we mouse over that, we can also see what it means. And here, for example, farms output is increased by 50%. Then we have the fishes here, and fishing docks increased by 100%. So we should definitely take those bonuses with us. There's some hunting ground over there, some mountains that we can use for mine. So I think this is a very good location overall. Let's just go ahead and yeah, choose the starting pot right somewhere here. And as we can see, survivors have chosen this location now. And with that, we have our first settlement available with some basic buildings, basically. You can also, by the way, choose your starting condition to start, for example, without a church, without a hospital, or a clinic if you like that. But in order to showcase the game here, I wanted to just show these buildings right away. Beautiful in a very, well, I think simplistic but still stylish graphic style. So I do like it. We also have our villages here. Every villager is simulated, right? So they all have their jobs, their lives, their name, their history. They have a family, perhaps moving into a house, creating or starting families, and also schoolie pooping around, of course, to make new babies. And that's exactly what we want. Happy people that expand our settlement. For now, though, we have some 21 souls, also 21 adults and 7 kids, so they will grow up eventually. And we also have 15 available laborers, so these are the ones that are going to work then for us. Now, for the first decision I would like to have, let's just start by gathering resources around the city, right? So we have lots of forest area, as we can see, and we should really just start chopping down some trees close to us, chopping down some or cutting down some stone. That's the most important thing. We can also go ahead and start by expanding our main road. So kind of like the main road here is in the center, right? So this goes through the whole town, and then we got some roads that lead further than out into the wilderness. And we of course should make sure that we use the resources that we have close by, like the hunting grounds here, and turkeys, and then the fertile soil over there as well. So I definitely would like to have then one of my roads going all the way out here, so for later on we can have some fields then in this area. Very important. And as we can see, they're now gathering resources. We have some mushrooms here, so that's food already that we can find. Trees that we can chop down for logs to make planks out of it, but also firewood that we are going to need for winter. Yes, that's right, we have seasons, right? So we're starting right now in, I think it is February, and we're going through a whole year. So the warm season starts now. We are under not immediate pressure to go ahead with producing firewood, but we definitely should do it soon. Also, we get a smaller, intro to the wall, so some quests that we can do. We do get some money for that, so that's the silver coins that we have. We can use them for special events, purchasing goods and stuff like that. Let's just accept the first mission and finish it right away. And the second one would be that we need to build a field. But for that, I'm going to wait a bit longer, because first of all, we want to gather resources here. Right here in the market center, I would also like to do something. People need water, right? So we do have, of course, some demands. There is a market here, so people will go there quite often. There's also the river dam, and I would like to have my first building that we're building right away, and that is for water, basically. Let's go ahead and build a big well, can produce water, can put out fires too, so it serves multiple purposes. We can have it right here in the center. I'm probably going to have it closer to the market, just over there. People can get there quickly, and there you go, our first construction. It's going to take a while, right? So first of all, we need to prepare the area, so chop down trees. Then we need to deliver resources like wood, stone, and iron ore, and then we can build it. It's going to take a while. And as we can see, yeah, we're getting some more open land here now, as the trees are being chopped down. While this construction is ongoing, we should also focus on our next constructions right away. That is the gatherer. The gatherer will always gather wild plants that spawn in the vicinity, and also might find herbs for us. Herbs is very important for sick people. So as we can see, we do have lots of forestry area there, and where there's a forest, there's also some herbs growing. And I think this is a good location for first a gatherer hut. Let's just get it out there, and of course also make a road connection then right to it. Next up, I probably would like to start with that also rather earlier, is the forest hut. That will plant saplings and periodically chop down mature trees within structure range. So another very important building for basically our wood production. And let's have this one over here. So there is lots of forestry area around it, and it's also a bit further away from the settlement. There you go. As the next construction has started. Of course, this is all queuing up now, so they are working on the well for now. And I think there's no resources yet, but the trees are being chopped down around it already, and the roads are being paved. We can of course also speed up the time, so we can pause it ×2, ×5, and ×10. Very good, it's all coming along, and as we can see, almost all the resources are in now, and we can build that well. One thing that I can notice right away is that we have still a total reserve of 55 iron ore. We need to be careful, because iron ore we cannot just find out here. So what I can see is we have stone, right? Lots of stone. There's some coal over there, but that's basically it. And where do we get iron ore? Well, from mountains, but I don't have a mine yet. So we need to be very careful with the amount of iron ore that I consume right now. So the well is one of the exceptions. Very good, and there it is coming along, and we have finished it. What we still need to decide here now for the big well is the product that it should produce. For a well, it's rather easy, right? It's water. Other buildings have several of these products available. Let's go ahead with the water, and it has now a total reserve of water, and people can just get over there, as this little fella there, and drinking something, because they have of course certain needs. So this guy here was really thirsty already, and he replenished his thirst with that. And just drank water, basically, right? He also doesn't have that much stamina right now, and warmth is important. He's feeling cold right now. Probably needs some fire logs in his building, or he should just go there. Of course, with clothes we can increase that stat, but right now I have got other more pressing matters. The well is finished. The gatherer hut is coming along now. Also consuming iron ore, 15. So does the forester hut, 30. And with that, we're getting pretty low then on the iron ore already. We also have this mission here that I should get a field going. So let's actually do it as a standard field on the fertile ground over there, so that we can boost this field here right away. There you go. A field, fortunately, does not require iron ore. That would have been very strange. It has a direct road connection already. We might want to have another road connection then over there, so people can get there more quickly. There you go. Let's also just create some blocks here. So this one, this inner block that we have. Of course, we are also starting out with some basic starting resources, right? So we have some food available here that is still lasting us for a while, but not forever. And of course, with difficulty settings, you could tone it down all the way to 0 almost, so that you really have a hard pressure of getting those resources in. Oh, there's lots of resources coming over right now. That's from the field. The field, by the way, is finished, so we can now also decide what we want to grow here. We have 12 laborers available. 2 of them have been assigned as a farmer right away. We could also assign up to 6 to this field here if we want to, but I think it's not necessary. And of course, we do have certain seasons where crops can only grow. We have the pumpkin available right now and the cabbage seed. If you click on that, the cabbage, for example, we can now see a sowing season is in March. So then after that comes the harvest season, of course. But first we need to sow the field. And this is the mission that we have here. So standard field, we need to choose a product or a crop. And then in the suitable season, it's going to be harvested. And this one here, of course, is the fertile soil bonus. So it will produce us quite a lot of cabbage there as well. So those two, Aubrey and Vivian, they should now get then some seeds over. Right, and start sowing the field. And as we also can see, we have March, so the next month is upon us, and with that also, since March is a sowing season, they will now farm. And as we can see, they're farming now, getting the seeds over, and then starting to sow that field here. In the meantime, right over here, the gather hut is being finished, so all the resources are in, the land has been prepared, and now it's just being built up. Our next production building, very important, and I think this one here just lacks a bit more iron ore, and then we can also go crazy on the forester hut. One more building that I really want to get off early on is the hunter. So we do have some very good hunting area over there. This is also a starting building, right? So we're starting with a few buildings available already. We do have a huge tech tree that I want to show off in a second. But let's just start with the hunter hut as well. And as we can see, it has then, once we build it closer to this area, those animals are getting marked. So they can then be used for hunting, basically. So let's just place it over there, have the road then, and connecting it with the road that we've already prepared. Very good. And the first builders are already getting over. Now, I was talking about a tech tree, so we do have it. There you go. And we grow with experience points with our population, basically also some tech levels, right? So we are in level 1 right now, but we have 3 tech points available already thanks to the difficulty setting. You could also start with 0. Takes a bit longer then. And we have extensive tech trees available. So quite a lot of stuff that you can research if you want to. And of course, all of them give us certain bonuses, like a police station, for example, the herbalist hut. Very important that we get this one out at some point. So we can actually activate it already with my tech points. So let's go ahead and do this. And we have the herbalist hut available now. And this will then start gathering herbs. Another very important one that I want to go off here right away is the mining. This one produces iron or coal. It is unremovable after it's being built, but well, we build it into a mountain. And very important, it doesn't require iron ore, so we can still build it even if we run out of it. Let's also activate this one here to get us the iron ore production up and running then as well. Yeah, the field is coming along as well. Looking good. Of course, we also have lots of homeless people. It's not absolutely necessary right now to build a house because it's warm weather anyway, but we should also focus on that. Oh, this was quick, right? It almost has all the resources in. There it is also. The gatherer hut has been finished. 2 people are being assigned to it right away, and they will now gather all these different products, all these different crop, the different wild herbs and mushrooms, whatever they can find out there in the forest. It's May. Forester hut has also been finished. Another 3 people that we consume with that, more or less, they are going to work here now. And as we can see, we're down to 8 laborers now. But they will now produce us a steady input of trees that are then being transported right over there to my storage yard. I think it's also time to build some houses now. We do have the time for it. Let's go ahead and build us some 3 more houses than here. Let's make it 4 houses. I think we're going to need 4 anyway. And this is basically a whole city block that we can have then right over there. So this is going to consume especially lots of logs, but we have 500 timber available, so that should not be a big problem. When it comes to iron ore, we'll definitely run out of that soon. Stone I have also plenty of, so resource-wise we are fine. We can still afford all of that. The hunter over there has now everything in and is being ready for construction. Going to take a while though, as we can see. 100 working steps. Yeah, meanwhile, the field is also coming along. It's at 72% ripeness now. So once this reaches 100, we can harvest. We could also have an early harvest if we want to. That means, for example, if we're running out of food and we do need an emergency harvest, we can do this. The harvest, of course, will be lower than when it would have been at 100%, but it's still going to be a nice harvest after all. We can also, and that is really cool, have modules or upgrades for each building in this game. So here, for example, we could have the scarecrow attached to the field or a hoe. Right, loosen the soil on farm, and this increases the efficiency of the farm overall. And we can do this for everything. So over here, for example, the forester hut also has these upgrades available. Right now there's only one. That's the reinforcement that requires the building kits. We don't have that yet. Alright, the first house is already coming along and being finished now as we speak. There you go. And as it is being finished, people are moving in, right? So 4 people move in right away. They seem to be a family. Nah, not really. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really fit because first of all, they're all female. And second of all, they are all of different ages or very close ages actually. Actually, no, Jay is male. He has a very female touch to it though. He's out there chopping down trees. So as I said, right, they're all simulated and they have their professions, their daily life, they're following along. And this family is full now, so it's 4 of 4. They're moving in here and each house has its own inventory, right? So from the market, people gather the resources, so the food, for example, and all the firewood and water, and store it in the building. Also, all of these houses have upgrades, so we could add, for example, some home textiles to it. A cat, so reduces the occupant's stress level. We do need cats, however, for this, or dogs, respectively. Meanwhile, the hunter hut has also been finished. Another beautiful, bigger building. So this one is now going out there hunting down animals. Amaya is already working on it, is tracking now animals. So she's going out there and tracking animals down and hunting them down, of course. So that's another source of food that we can have now. Just making sure that the gather hut is working as well. Looks good. So we can see this by output, right? So this year what the output is, and this one is working quite efficiently already. So there's lots of herbs coming in, lots of mushrooms. And this one is already producing 72 timber. That's actually way too much, right? We could reduce it. Let's reduce the amount to 2 foresters only. That saves us a workforce that we can use for something else. Meanwhile, the next house is coming along. Fantastic. Already full as well. And there's a full family here as well, right? So husband and wife, most likely, and then their children. Of course, these children grow up and they will also want to have a home of their own. So there is a bit of a pressure to increase the housing space over time. Alright, we still have some homeless people, but I think we'll solve the issue then once these houses have been finished as well. Now, I've been researching a mine, right? So we could go out there and just find us that mine now. We should find it somewhere in my resource gathering. And there it is. Can produce iron and coal with limited total output. Costs me a lot of timber and stone. Now we do need a mountain for that. We do have a few mountains close by. This one and this one. This one looks perfect for a mine. However, we have a road in its path. So we can just remove this road if we want to. So let's just do it like that. Off it goes. And now we can place the mine right on top of it. Right here into this mountain. Just see that we find us a suitable location. There you go. This is a pretty big construction, so it's going to take a while. And then we can just have this road now moving. Let's just see. Like this. Connecting still the other side as well. Already people going over. Meanwhile, also over here, the harvest has started, right? So the first harvest is coming in. They're still resting now, but the harvest is finally upon us. So the first one's gone. And they're hard at work. By now, all the buildings have been finished here, all the houses, and everybody's moved in. And as we already can see, this one is not even full anymore. So there's a very young couple in there starting to work now and also starting to a family. And as also we can see, there is no homeless people anymore. However, we should still work on some more houses just for expansion reasons. So I'm going to have one more at least. For now. And with that, we can then also finish this block here already, pro forma. So there's still a house that we can squeeze them in here into this slot. Of course, we should have them closer to the center there, so the marketplace, for example, and the well, so they can get their resources quickly. Now, by now, yep, the area has been cleared. The logs are already all in. Just some stone is missing, and then we can start on the mine. There's also the hunters coming in right now with some meat, as we can see. And some feathers. Feathers we can use for something later on. Pillows, for example. Soft pillows. And while we wait on the construction of the mine, we could also have a quick look at my village itself, what's going on. So we do have some informations up here, information tabs that we can use. The first one is the happiness tier. So right now we are at a 68% happiness. For example, garments could increase it. Shoes, we don't even have shoes at the moment. People are just running around with bare feet. Oh, fuel reserves are low as well. Very good. Thank you for the warning there. We're going to tackle this problem. Roads and paths, for example, also lead to happiness if we have enough of that. Religion and then entertainment and food ration, of course. Food we have plenty of right now. And of course, the diversity also matters a lot. Then we have the health tier. So health, for example, is decided by how safe are the workspaces. With tools, for example, we can increase the work safety and quality. How good are the drinks, the Medicare that we have, sanitation, waste disposal and stuff like that. So we need to tackle a whole bunch of things for my villagers to keep them happy and to keep them healthy. Now, there was the message about my fuel, so we should definitely work on that. And for that, we do have the chopping house right over there. And this one is, yeah, we are going to start this one. With this one, we are going to start the industry sector, right? So close to the mine, it makes sense to me to have a few industry buildings now. The mine we need to finish first because actually we are also out of iron ore, right? So this one here needs to get started. Let's prioritize the construction of this building here. So everyone that has some space or time right now will work on this very quickly. We need to finish it. We need to get the iron ore in because other than that, we cannot finish the chopping house. Autumn has arrived, so it's very important now that we get this one done. There's also a mysterious merchant, so these events happen from time to time. And dressed like a foreigner, came to the settlement and hawked his goods to the citizens. Here ya, 3,000 silver coins for 200 special medicine. Buy them or miss them. That is very steep. We have 400 only right now, so let's not purchase that. But he can definitely return if he likes to. Full harvest is in, so the field is now barren. There's nothing else that we can do here. And I'm just going to work now on the mine. Yeah, and with a bit of a general effort, we can finish this mine. Oh, we also acquired a new seed. There it is. And in this mine, we can now decide what we want to harvest. And iron ore it is, of course, for starters. So there's 4 people right away working in that to get as much in as possible. And this will then be delivered right away to my chopping house that we can also prioritize now. Yeah, we should be fine. It is a bit late, right? Temperature is going down already. We get a second warning here now. So this is very important that we finish this one. Otherwise, we are going to lose people to the cold. I will also prepare another standard field for the next season. Because we are growing, of course, and it is thus very important that we also grow our production. And there it is. Iron ore is being produced and being then delivered right away to the chopping house. Yeah, once again, with a combined effort, we were able, or close able, to finish that last building here. Come on, there's one more working step. They're doing this on purpose. Thank you very much. That has been finished. Let's assign 2 people to this right away so we can hurry it up. And of course, we want to start now creating or crafting domestic fuel. Now, it is November, so it's already cold, right? But no one is freezing yet. Why is that the case? Because as I said earlier, these houses have an inventory, right? And in most of these houses, we still have a domestic fuel in, right? So as we can see, 40 here, for example. And also then in these ones here, 40, there we have it, and another 40 here. So these houses are still burning, right? The only freezing people are the ones that are outside without proper clothing. So they are freezing a bit, but other than making them a bit unhappy, I hope we should not see any bigger penalties to that. Now November, so end of the year is coming soon. Chopping down has started for firewood, so we have this production up and running a bit late, so you definitely should aim to get it out earlier, but we're still fine. Lots of people now also working on iron ore. As we can see, we got 40 in already. I don't even need that many here, so there were 5 actually. Let's reduce it to 3. That should be fine. So we have some spare workforce again available. Now we also finished that goal here for the farmers, right? So let's finish this one. And we can also disable, so this is basically a smaller introduction to what we can do here. Production will stop. We can also, turn buildings off, right? So that was this here for that. The second field, let's assign another crop to this, so cabbage. So we got pumpkin and cabbage now. We can also find other crops like pea seeds we already found. Perhaps we could go for them. Yeah, the third field, can't hurt. And the big well, we have finished this, of course. The forester hut, we have also built this one. The gatherer hut, we have built this one. Boy, we are getting a lot of rewards here. So 400 coin each time we finish one of these quests. Also a hunter hut we have finished. A chopping house we have finished. And 7 houses we have finished. Next up, we would need to build a repair shop. But for now, let's survive winter. Health is still fine. My clinic, is it working? Yeah, the clinic is working at the moment. There is someone working in it. Did we find some herbs? 27 this year. So that's something. But we definitely should get a specialty building out. So a herbal hut. And I just love the quietness of the winter season. There's also some people growing up now, so Bancroft here is leveling up to an adult more or less, and also 2 births occurred. So we are growing already, very good. That's of course happening then in these houses. Can we check it out where? Age 6, age 16, 4, 0. There is someone. Harriet, for example, is a new child to the village. It's looking really cold. 25 degrees Fahrenheit, 26 degrees. Of course, we can also change this one to Celsius. Now we have it in Celsius. This I understand a bit better, so -2 degrees. That's very cold, below the freezing point. Of course, we don't need to be completely idle in winter, so I would like to continue with my next one. The game is already telling me that I should go get a repair shop. So this one is repairing damaged buildings and maintaining them. There you go. Under the service section, we find the repair shop. Let's get this one out. Where should we get it? Yeah, probably also a bit closer to my city center and closer to my structures. That would be one thing. And another very important building that we should work on is also my tools production. So right now, we are only having stone tools, right? So a tool is made by using stone and wood at the smithy. And stone tools are the worst of them. And we got 87 of them still. That's fine, but we definitely should increase the quality of our tools. With that, we will also increase the health of my villagers, because the work safety is increased by producing iron tools. And this we can do for the tool or for the smithy. And this one here processes then iron into tools. Timber and iron into tools. Let's have this one right next to my chopper, my chopping house. Have the smithy. Also requires some 20 iron ore then right away, but we have 100 now. So the mine is really producing a lot for us. Very good. Oh, that was quick. The repair shop is already finished. So Vivian is now doing that. We have reassigned her from the field to the repair shop, and she's now working here and repairing buildings, maintaining them. That we can finish the quest. Build a chapel, we have this. Build a clinic, we have also this. And with that, we have finished the introduction that you get. A small boost to your income, right? So 6,000 silver coins. You can get more with trading. But for now, 6,000 is fine. So we could have purchased now the medicine that the trader offered. But of course, I'm not doing this now anymore. Now, next up, the smithy is coming along. By the way, yeah, we should build another house because all the houses are already occupied. And we don't need to worry about iron ore anymore. And February, year number 2. At least the first winter has been survived, and we are still having 24 domestic fuel in our storages as well. So no one froze to death. There you go. Smithy is working. We could assign up to 2 people to that. I think we can increase that, yep, by adding another job then here. For example, if we add luxury furniture to it. And we also, of course, need to decide a product again. Iron tools, it is most likely. March has arrived. As we can see, we get lots of tools available here. So the stone tools, the iron tools, has the lowest durability. A hand card, so this one allows citizens to carry more stuff. The hardwood tools, the obsidian tools, this is the high quality one, and swords as well for soldiers. Let's go ahead and have the iron tools production though, as this is the only thing that we really have unlocked beside the stone tools. And this one is consuming now timber and iron ore. Timber 360. We might need to increase the workforce then at the forester hut, since more timber is being, of course, consumed. Plant trees has been allowed, right? So we can, of course, also have 2 modes here, plant trees and fell trees. It's looking rather barren around it, so hopefully he's planting more trees now. There is another plant, so that he can always produce something for us. We're down to 2 laborers now only, so workforce is getting rare. Food-wise, we're at 106, so we're producing way too much food for our settlement at the moment. That means we could lower the workforce on one of these. So for example, the gatherer. Let's just have 1 gatherer for now, and this allows us to have 1 gatherer or 1 worker available for the herbalist hut, because this is really important. We do need to get a herbalist out there, and we do have lots of forestry area over there, so let's have it next to my hunter. Oh, let's actually make the connection here complete. We could have an ornament then in the middle. Speaking about ornaments, there's lots of them. So we have a whole bunch of second tabs just available for ornaments. You can add lights to the game, right? So street lights, stone lanterns. You can actually build this one already. We got something for a graveyard, so you can build graveyards, of course. We have fences around it then to make a graveyard complete. We could actually also have this one close to the chapel, for example. Building a smaller graveyard with, let's make a wooden fence, right? Connecting it here with that chapel there. Just make sure that we do have a completed here. There you go. And in here we could then have some coffins. Even though you don't have these coffins out in the open, of course. Oh, they require coin. Yep, that's where we also can consume or invest our coins into ornaments. Now, this one is coming along. Perfect. The herbalist hut. And with that, the first year has been survived, right? We're producing tools now as well in the smithy, and from now on we can continue to grow, building more houses, advancing our tech tree into more science, for example, building a school, educating our citizens, trading with the outside. We do have a river close by, so we could build a port and stuff like that. And I think you get the general idea. So if you enjoy this kind of game, it looks very good, it looks very polished. It is feature complete now with the release of 1.0 coming to Steam. You should definitely try it out. Also, have a look at the video description or the comment section. I've put a link in there so you can go right to the game's page and download it if you like to. I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek. And with that, have a happy day. Cheers!